So great to be here. When Moya first took me to look at the work, I immediately was struck by, I think, how many different resonances I felt with both artists' work. Many different touch points, I think, that I feel very deeply invested about. And I think one thing I did want to talk about just before I start reading is even drawing your attention to the title of the show, A Place Apart. For me, the notion of an outside of sorts, something beyond the immediate horizon, has always been a really important thing for my work. That outside can be many different things. It can be an outside to what you know, i.e. the unknown. It can be a temporal outside. It's a future of sorts or a past that you can't uncover. It could be a political outside, a space of marginalization. And for me, my work has always been interested in what it means to pass in and out of those spaces, and what it means to have transactions with such a space that often is outside the restricted economy of most of the world, the codes, the norms, and what kind of potential for action lies in that space, what kinds of struggle arise from that space. And I just see and feel so much of it in these works. So I'm going to read from both. I've selected some poems from both my books, This Paper Boat and Under Glass. I'm reading off my phone for the first time, I feel. Yeah, okay. So none of the poems have titles. I'm just going to pause. They're all quite small. I'll just pause between each one. I wanted what happened to be something I could know. And I wanted what I knew to be something I could describe, something to which others could say, I know this happened to me also. At the back of the room is a mirror, dreaming it's become itself at last. I keep walking as if I know all the parts and could play them. I thought that the things I loved were places I could always go back to, but the spaces between things become places themselves and threaten to swallow me whole. I thought that knowing in just the right way would be enough to free me from pain. For those of us who drowned and continue living underwater, this isn't heaven, but I hope we could come at last to love it. No matter which outcome in the dizzying array of all possible futures, no matter the fear, I will meet you there. I undress and dress, eating my own shadows until the corridor appears again. Now I'm floating towards the trees. Now I'm floating among the branches. This is the house. This is the gate. Now I'm lying on the floor in one of the rooms, holding a brick above my chest. I swallow the second sun and the night releases me. I'm full of holes in a night full of holes. A memory of domination that would find us all years later as indistinct survivors, all with the same face, all with the same eyes. A memory that would hurl us backwards with a current so strong we all knew it was happening when it was happening, but could not do a thing about it. So strong, I still find it hard to believe it could ever have happened to us. I think about power and how it always insists on itself, a place from which to speak, a place from which to look at other people while also being seen, a hand opening towards what seems like forever. I survived it happening, but not the shame. Here is the place where they will keep me. Here is the place where they will keep me. Here is the place where they will keep me. I think the beginning of anything is always a secret. I love myself when my mind is fucking the hinges of events. And so the next 3, 4, Next 4 poems are from the first book, it's Paper Boat. And in that book, they are in a section just called the Sea of Korra. It's kind of indeterminate. A moth darkens on the branch of my mother's voice. She is trying to winch me into the crying chair, but I am not crying. I'm covered in yellow leaves. My mother has moved into the back room where she hides her hands folding laundry. She raises the air in front of her body, steps wholly into it, and is gone. The yellow leaves in the milk give it a rusty taste. We are grass-footed. My friend and I have left sadness behind us, crying in the dark branches. Ahead of us is a field in which we turn wide circles with our faces. We are so happy to be here. Now we are going to learn how the moon's children stand up suddenly without breaking any shadows. In the field, we have buried bottles filled with our hair. We want to feel safe, so sometimes we just listen. We have fallen out of the world. Look, nearby strangers stalk around a pond of silt and wastewater, licking their pelts. They are wanton breath. A person weeping for his past life scrubs the back of his neck, the basin choked with sleep. A woman in her nightgown crawls out of the trees. She flies off, leaving her translucent skin, and a wall grows around her, leaving. Death is a house inside the forest. It is made of many doors. This is how you'll move now, my friend says, collecting stray clothes into a sail, your bed nailed to the bottom of this boat where you sleep with yourself. The forest is an endless sea, and the world turns in its dark waters. You are not done with it. The endless trees out of which everything emerges and into which everything escapes, and you are covered in the leaves of an emerging animal. You are not yet done with it. You fly out of the world. You go back. The rocks here have been rounded by that sound. And last one. And actually, this is from Underglass too. Moving from one world to another is like dying in a dream of hands and water. Nothing is forgiven because nothing is remembered, but the desires remain the same. To be in a room with others, satisfied, tired of wonder, holding each other with the good secret of no longer having to insist on going where we think we have to go.
Hello everyone. I'm going to read 3 poems today. The first one, it's kind of scrappy. I wrote it recently. It's a little bit of a reaction to this exhibition, but also to a seat at my table by Solange. A seat at the table by Solange. And it's just kind of, I think the world's pretty screwed up at the moment, so this poem is whacked. I am scared of my own voice. I am scared that I might say something bad, might say something wrong, that I might say something honest. What good is a voice if you are afraid of using it? What good is it if you are afraid of being? What use is it to be if you can't say what it is you need to say? What use is it to be if you can't just breathe? Ha kiroto. I am painting myself a self-portrait. I am painting myself a new face. I am painting myself all the time, camouflaged into different landscapes, and in all these new places I will find familiar objects to cling to. I am alone. I am never myself. I am always a new face. I am a self-portrait. I am never alone. I am unknowable. Some might call me poetry. Some might call me sister, moko, auntie. Some might call me honest. I am trying a new face. I am trying to be knowable. Ha kiroto. There is too much to say and not enough time to say it. There is too much and not enough words in the world, but that's a lie. I am breaking. I am scared that I might say what it is I want to say, which would be disastrous. I am scared of the world in this moment and in all of the moments before this. I am scared of that the future is painted and knowable. I am scared of the world not changing. I am scared of my new self-portrait. She hangs in the hall, eyeless, angry. I am scared of not seeing. I am scared of not being seen. Once I was in love with a girl who liked to play psychologist on me. Once I was in love, I was a girl who liked to play with love. My psychologist said, that's not your fault, and it's okay to be angry. Back then, I was eating the future, trying to be disastrous and succeeding. They took my heart to hospital in the form of my sister. I sat with her for 10 hours, counting the squares on the hospital curtain. She was eyeless, unmoving. I am scared, something's wrong. Ha kiroto. We grew up with none of this disconnect. We grew up with turn that ball tickle off to the Simpsons theme tune. We grew up running. We grew up with the armed defenders squad in our street. Now it's a family joke. It's funny, it's funny, it's funny. We grew up with beige for skin. We grew up honest. We grew up statistics, unexpectedly academic, considering our bloodlines. We grew up diminished. Ha kiroto. My sister has become a statistic again and on record. It's expected that we will be eyeless, voiceless, bodiless, that we will be angry, that we have many things to be angry about. I am scared of being angry for the rest of my days. I am scared that I might say what it is I want to say, precise and clear like glass, and still I won't be heard, that I might become painted, a mere self-portrait, and that I might be used as a weapon by others who have a desire to own me. I am a weapon. I am not just a self-portrait. I am trying to be a better person. All of these frightful days, I am not a weapon. I am my own fucking work of art. I am sometimes lonely. I am never alone. This next one is a response poem to a painting by Rita Angus called Rutu, which is of like an idealized half-caste woman. I just wrote that straight to the painting. Oh, poor, poor you, have lost yourself. What a shame to be Rutu in an age of voicelessness and to hang against white space. But never matter, never matter. It's delicious, really, how they stare. You can tell they want to own you, the way they own your heritage, your voice, your pocket. You want to tell them, take me anyway, even if I don't say yes, because no means yes, obviously. It's an historical fact that we all want to be controlled, really, and you love how they stare at you, exotic figment with halo around your head. They could see you walking in the fresh fruit aisle of the supermarket and not even notice. Oh, Rutu, you gorgeous nightmare. I dye my hair blonde too, scalp raw and red from bleach. I am a spy undercover, just like you. Oh, Rutu, will you guide me? This is such a fiendish world, and all I need is someone in my image so I understand what I meant to do. Can you help me find a place? I kneel before you foolishly. Oh, poor, poor me. I have no idea how to act. My father comes from missionaries, mistranslations, and my mother comes from so many knotted tongues. Where does that leave me? I am every colonist's wet dream, a synergy, just like you. Oh, poor, poor Rutu. Do you understand? I think you do. You were born two halves. I used to be. Is there such thing as half a person? Can blood be measured once it's pumping around in the hub of a body? You don't have any blood. Cold and turpentine. Wish I could take some time and sit in your frame for a bit, but I have things to do. Oh, Rutu. They will tell you you're a marvel. They always do. And I will be there in the background, sipping complimentary wine with my bleached hair shining. We will catch each other's eyes across the crowd and wink like, isn't this a funny joke that we are both made up of colonizers and colonies? But I'm so grateful to even exist, which is weird for me. Do you feel weird too? Oh, poor, poor Rutu. I want to be your friend. I want to laugh all the time. I want to laugh until I fall to the floor from losing all my breath. This is the last poem. Thank you for having me again. This is for my nan. It's a response poem to a Denise Smith poem called Waiting for You to Die So I Can Be Myself, which is an amazing poem and everyone should read that. Carry me home, e kuia. I can be light and tuck myself into your wing if there is space for me. We could travel on the same four winds. When you passed, I didn't know how to keep in contact. Let me use page and pen and paper. Let me use words and thoughts and murmurs in the back of a library where I find you on a page sat waiting. E moko, I've been calling you here for the longest time. Talk to me now, e kuia. I am ready to know what I haven't before been able to hold. Give me what I can carry in the safety of my embrace, nothing more. I do not need all of it yet, and we both know there are things I will not want to take. Stay with me here, e kuia, in this beach house. I am lonelier than I ever was, and I need helping. Listen to my whispers. Hold me safe until I wake on the floor with no one around me. Tell me, have you ever felt like this? Let me make you a cup of tea, Nanny, weak with a splash of full-fat milk. We'll play cards in the lounge while you sing in that ancient vibrato. You could tell me things and I would listen, and I would try to tell you things. Do you know who I am, e kuia? I have always been secrets, held tight. I have always known what I could not say, holding your hand inside of churches, sitting on a fold-out bed to listen to you pray. Your Bible is a thing, e kuia. Your Bible is the reason I have bitten my tongue for all these years, gnawed at my tongue till it bled and fell to the tiles where it lay writhing. I've been trying for so many years to mop up the mess. One day, we will know each other so well. One day, I might let you meet my wife. I want us to walk our coastlines together, where our tupuna walked, where you rode your horses, revisit landscapes from all other times. They will still be there for my returning. I want you to stay with me all my life. Join me on my walk, e kuia, from Wainui Beach to Waipiro Bay, resting at Tokumaru. Show me the old station where we lived before the cities. Remind me of myself. Weave our stories like korowai around my shoulders, and then could we just keep walking across all of the beaches, our footsteps falling into sync, leaving trails behind us. Thank you.
Kia ora koutou. It's so lovely to be here. Thank you all for coming. I have had this work in my mind just for a week now, and it's so exciting to me. I'm a lapsed painter, so just so inspired by this work, and I can't wait to return to visit it over the coming months. On the theme of painting, I'm going to read 4 poems from a little series I wrote in response to a book by Sister Wendy, who is a Catholic nun who is also an art historian. And she produced many books and a television series. She was such a professional in front of the camera that she was known as One Take Wendy. She just had this incredible ability to look at paintings and really perceive them. So this book that I had growing up was 1,000 paintings from Western art illustrated, and she wrote a little sort of kind of essay on each painting. So I wanted to write a little tribute to her kind of passion and insight about painting, and they're a little bit irreverent, as she was in her own way, but in quite a different way, just so you're prepared. The Hungry Virgins. It's true that I did lead 11,000 virgins on a pilgrimage to Rome without thinking about how I was going to feed them. Who says virgins lack appetite, especially on a long march? Anyhow, we get by, somehow. No one likes to see a pack of hungry virgins on the prowl, especially given the incredible rumble they make en masse. Today we came to the ocean and bathed. The local fishermen were not impressed. You virgins chased all our fish away. Everyone had to settle for dry salted cod. The fish returned to the nets a week later. We received many thankful messages from the representatives of towns we vacate. That is, when pigeons can be blindfolded or tricked into flying over what town criers have taken to calling the angelic salivation. the supernatural frame. You may look upon the painting with these special foiled binoculars. We are at a safe distance. Afterwards, you may feel a chill or a fever linger for 2 days and a night, accompanied by an infernal cough. This can only be overcome through treatments of the chemical element of atomic number 16. A recovery ward has been added to the gallery from which our observations take place. Yes, it is a sort of sanitarium or spa, a wondrous bubbling place with a trauma ward. Will it be worth the cost? If I could look again, I would, is the usual reply from those who dare to peek at the most hellish painting in the world. Yes, you could call it an involuntary wail. Well, I couldn't say for sure, though it's likely to be the sound the soul makes as it touches its own extremity, recoiling bewildered from the supernatural frame. This poem is called A Heavily Cloaked Articulation of Man. The cold staircase had never been ascended. At one point it seemed light would go up. It seemed that way for many years. Eventually someone came down for supper, they said. However, the official recorder of events was an existentialist, so we have the account of a spider winding up its small victim, securing it immobile in the dark. The story has been altered since to reflect the shifting values of our times. Now a cold staircase unravels a heavily cloaked articulation of man, a very bright, still inmate of an impenetrable world, in possession of a small gift. The painter. I'm just another genius who will die young of tuberculosis. If you could poke your finger in, you'd feel the last undercliff of the lung, though you probably don't want to. While a little jealous, I still like to observe men at work. This morning they feed out a monstrous net. Tomorrow they'll repair any tears in the great floating violence. I wasn't expecting that red spotted shawl of weed. See how it is cast over bones of bright wood that rise up to the interrupted height of a man. I'll invite you to look up as the sun sets, the tomb deceptively empty. And I'm just going to read 2 more from another book. This is called The Place of Hates. I dined on uncountable spites, from subatomic spites to those of bold conceptual design. I dabbled in murderous and premature confidences. I fed the boiler of bitterness and whistled a heinous cry as I passed through any tunnel that had no other side. I flew on wings of ill animus and feathered my bed with an abomination of duck down and disdain. Eventually I poisoned myself and tied my torso to a gentle tree until leaves withered and sizzled and ricocheted and cramped like an exploding arboretum of dehydrated guts. I danced to the sound of eternal rest, even doing a jig on my own final twitch. I committed acts of excretion. At the end, beyond the end, I was nominated for a prize and I spat on it. I'm not sure if you guys all have those days. So this is the last poem I'll read, and it's called A Reason for Everything. One day there is a reason for everything, except the following morning there are no reasons, only raisins, just like the philosopher warned you. The next day you go to work and your colleague asks, "What's your raisin though?" You hand your colleague a bit of paper. On it you have written, "What if there is no raisin?" Your colleague can't handle the implication that all men walking the earth are without a single raisin. that even the smallest of raisins is missing. That night you can't sleep, being unconscious and prone and partially paralysed for up to 8 hours without a raisin no longer seems sensible. If only there was one good raisin left in the world, you think. If only it could be found. Thank you very much.
Thank you to the organisers for inviting me, zooming me into a place apart. So I've just got a bunch of poems loosely around the theme, but of course I had to read in this beautiful space, Two Nudes on a Tahitian Beach, one of my favourite arty poems. Two Nudes on a Tahitian Beach, 1894. Go gone, you piss me off. You strip me bare assed, turn me on my side, shove a fan in my hand, smearing fingers on thigh, pout my lips below an almond eye, and silhouette me in smouldering ochre. I move just a little in this putrid breeze, hair heavy to fuchsia knees. Still, I'm the pulse on the arm of this wall, and I've drawn her to me again. Here she comes, not liking that she likes me, not liking you, but knowing that she likes me. Not liking you liking me, but she likes me and sees me, but not you, because you go gone, piss us off. Yay. It's very odd because it's a delayed response and a little bit of an echo, but I trust that you're enjoying yourselves on this Sunday afternoon. I myself have just come from a beach run, and so I'm looking all glam at the top, and underneath I've still got my tights. So here we go. So love has been a bit of a theme for me in thinking about this place apart. And here's a poem. You might recognize the title that I've ripped off slightly. It's called Love in the Time of COVID-19, aka Love in the Time of Cholera. As the last plane is grounded, the last border closed, the last bag of rice whipped away from supermarket shelves, you send me Seneca. He feeds me what we have. We want for nothing. Our Allah quiet beneath surface, a bare trace till infected by belly embrace, mutating with each contact till pandemic. We start with one request, one grain of rice placed on the first chessboard square, to be doubled on the next, till by the last square 18 quintillion grains are owed, seduced by exponential love, bigger than you or me or COVID-19. Thank you. So Greg had talked about outsider transactional spaces, and so in terms of intertwining it with love and representation, these two amazing Pacifica artists who are exhibiting today, I shall read my breakup poem. It's called, and I performed it at the British Library last year. You'll see why from the title. Breaking up with Captain Cook on our 250th anniversary. Dear Jimmy, it's not you, it's me. Well, maybe it is you. We've both changed. When I first met you, you were my change. Well, your ride, the endeavour was, anyway, on my 50-cent coin. Your handsome face was plastered everywhere, on money, on stamps, on all my world maps. My teachers spoke so highly of you. You were so Christian. You were second to Jesus, and both of you came to save us. But I've changed. We need to see other people, other perspectives, other worldviews. We've grown apart. I need space. We're just at different points in our lives, compass points, that is. I need to find myself, and I can't do that with you hanging around all the time. Posters, book covers, tea cozies, every year, every anniversary. You're a legend. I don't know the real you. Your wife did burn all your personal papers, but that's beside the point. I don't think you've ever really seen me. You're too wrapped up in discovery. I'm sorry, but there just isn't room in my life for the two of you right now. You and your drama, your possessive colonizing empire, we're worlds apart. And I don't want to be in a thing right now. Besides, my friends don't like you, and I can't break up with them, so. And that poem is always accompanied by this poem. It's titled How to Make a Captain Cook Cupcake with Pink Frosting. And this was a poem in response to a statue of Captain Cook covered in pink paint in protest to changing the date of Australia Day, held on January the 26th, when the first British settlers arrived in Australia, otherwise known as Aboriginal Genocide Day. And here's the image that I responded to. How to make a Captain Cook cupcake with pink frosting. Take one replica statue of Captain Cook, aged 104 years, displayed in a public place. If you're Koori, Aborigine, know Australia Day as Invasion Day. Be a map marking the massacres, uncharted rivers of blood. Be silenced, be blackbirded, be herded in shooting parties, be shot, be left to rot in reserves, be absent so your land can be mined. Have your bones lined up in foreign museum cases for scientific inquiry. Be fired in your belly. Have your waters diverted, your gods converted, your babies stolen, your lines broken. Be almost wiped out. Be multiple, complex, and autonomous, then be labelled homogeneous. Be poor, die more and before any other people. Be silenced no more. Be creative. Be a maker. Take a pink can of frosting. Be the baker. And for my last poem, I'm going to read from Fast Talking PI. I understand that part of this poem inspired some of the artwork that you folks have the gorgeous privilege of viewing this afternoon. Fast Talking PI, and PI is an acronym for Pacific Islander, not private investigator, nor principal investigator, just saying. My colleague sat through the whole poem 4 years ago, and, you know, an esteemed professor, and came up to me later and said, that was just marvelous, but can you tell me what a pie is? I'm a fast talking PI. I'm a power walking PI. I'm a demographic, hieroglyphic, fact sheet welding PI. I'm a theorizing PI. I'm a strategizing PI. I'm published in a peer reviewed journal PI. I'm a slot machine PI. I'm a lotto queen PI. I'm a tote ticket church bingo TAB PI. I'm a vegan PI, a rainbow warrior PI. I'm a protest sign against the rising waters PI. I'm a criminal PI behind the bar grass PI. I'm a gun smoking patch toting king cobra PI. I'm a fale PI, a marae PI. I'm a living, breathing dwelling of my ancestors PI. I'm a lazy PI. I'm a pea crazy PI. I'm a hard drinking, hard speaking, where my eggs PI. I'm a land-based PI, a whanua PI. I'm a village is the center of my world PI. I'm a harvesting PI, a copper sacking PI. I'm a biting beef cause no more fish in reef PI. I'm a diabetic PI. I'm a heart disease PI. I'm a gout inflated, incubated case study PI. I'm a Siva Samoa PI. I'm an Ava pouring PI. I'm a Tula Fale tonguing genealogy PI. I'm an independent PI. I'm a flag raising PI. I'm a fa'a loving, giving, living PI. I'm a standing PI. I'm a beehive PI. I'm a Labour MP, gonna be PM one day PI. How prophetic was that? That was 2009. I'm a quiet PI. I'm a small PI. I'm a take no lunch to school today, but anyway PI. I'm an all black PI. I'm an all white PI. I'm a gold, silver, bronze, blue street sign PI. I'm a shark tooth PI. I'm a tato PI. I'm a malu and a be'a flying fox let loose PI. I know how to be in this world. I know how to feed in its waters. I know how to read the stars and the seabirds. I know how to live off poetry. I know how to give it away. I'm a property PI, a self-employed PI. I'm a mocha drinking, horn rim glassing, real TV PI. I'm a crumpin PI, a go for God PI. I'm a colour-free gangster wannabe for the Lord PI. I'm a BA PI. I'm an MA PI. I'm a PhD BCom LLB MD PI. I'm a bi PI. I'm a gay PI. I'm a cross-gendered, soul-blended, mascaraed PI. I'm a territorial PI. I'm a pureblood PI. I'm a border language stop, do not pass go PI. I'm a freezing works PI. I'm an IT PI. I'm a sewing, stuffing, soaking, shaking, stirring PI. I'm a talanor PI. I'm a tava PI. I'm the space, the time, the tune, the transcending PI. I'm a pair of Jimmy Choos. I'm a size 12 in fuchsia, please. I'm a no shoe fits the foot of an earth mama. I'm a royal PI. I'm a commoner PI. I'm a coup supported, you and you and you deported PI. I'm a white Sunday PI, an LMS PI. I'm a born again, no mandatory tithing PI. I'm that blood clot PI. I'm that top knot PI. I'm that loosener of sun and skin and brothers PI. I'm a lover PI. I'm a mama PI. I'm a breastfeed till they tell you I'm done now. Thanks, mum. I'll see you tomorrow. PI. I know I was one of those. I'm a Nafanua PI. I'm a warrior PI. I'm the breast kept secret in ancient Samoan warfare PI. I'm a dub PI. I'm a Bebo PI. I'm a good looking face booking hooking up PI. I'm a melting pot PI and homogenous PI. I'm a skim milk green top fat free heterogeneous PI. I'm a Denny's PI. I'm a Sour D's PI. I'm a finger licking KFC MD BK PI. I'm a a matariki PI. I'm a slam and poetry PI. I'm riding high and whipping the heart of Clydesdale PI. I'm a Vaka PI. I'm a star charting PI. I'm a navigating by Nissan Navara PI. I'm a long poem PI. I'm a long song PI. I'm a smooth crooner, softly lullabying PI. I'm a red lipstick PI. I'm a big haired PI. I'm a multicolored, silhouetted Fafa Fine PI. I'm a crying PI. I'm a laugh too loud PI. I'm a my gender, your mouth, Derek wannabe PI. I'm a theorizing slot machine, bloodless coup, Jimmy Choos, lover blood clot, melting pot, shark tooth, brothers let loose, white Sunday, lippy BA. I'm a fast talking PI. Whawhatai tele lover, thank you, and all the best for the exhibition.